Harmonics, and we have a very exciting show for you today on the Innovation in Agriculture show. We've got a lot of stuff happening here at Harvest Harmonics, and I know if you've watched our broadcast, you know that things are always moving, and we are the future of farming, and we're bringing that future to you, to the farming community, so that everybody can have healthier food to eat, everybody can have a healthier environment to live in, especially our farmers. Let's face it, if you guys are breathing in all these chemicals, sometimes I think you might have health problems too, and we want to help you with that also. Mainly, we want to help you make more money and create a better quality product. And the reason why we're so excited is because the inventor of our wonderful technology, Mr. Fulvio Baumelli, his wife, and the executive director of the Kiminasi Project and the Biomedic Clinic, who developed this technology, is here with us. They're coordinating with us on several projects internationally, and we're very excited to have them here. And so it's very exciting. We also have a lot of projects going on with universities and special projects that we're able to get scientific evidence. In fact, I was just looking through one of our most recent trials on peppers. Now, if you've ever watched any of our shows or if you've ever seen one of our presentations, you know that peppers has always been one of our best crops. We always get amazing results in peppers, you know, whereas we might get 20, 30, 40% increases in yield on other crops. With peppers, we always seem to get 70%, 100%, 120%. In this particular university trial, we have 199% over control. So we did 3 different varieties of peppers, and we got between 130% over control in terms of extra yield and 199%. So to put that in perspective, 100% increase in yield means we double the yield. So if on a control field we got 5 tons of peppers, that means on our field we got 10 tons of peppers. Well, with 190%, that's almost 3 times as much. So we actually got 15 tons of peppers versus 5. And those are not the exact numbers. In fact, I'll go over those numbers with you in a later date, or of course we'll have them up on our website very soon as we update our website with these scientific trials and get them going. We want to, of course, get these certified and published in peer-reviewed journals before we put them on our website. So we're just waiting for that peer review process to complete. But if you guys have any crops like peppers, like corn, like tomatoes, like berries, like blueberries, you know, raspberries, strawberries, I mean, these crops are huge, huge winners. Our technology just drives the yield through the roof. And the greatest part about our technology is it drives yield naturally. So we're not driving yield by just adding more and more fertilizer, which doesn't really help your profitability that much. We're actually driving yield by making plants more efficient. Now, in any innovation that we talk about, we have to look at in what ways is it innovating. And when we have innovations with equipment like drones and special meters and sensors that can get you in more control over your environment and over the farm and your operation. Our technology is very unique in the sense that it's a piece of equipment that actually makes the plants more efficient. So it's not just a piece of equipment for measuring differences and changes, it's a piece of equipment that actually causes that change. And the benefit of it is, of course, is reducing fertilizer and other inputs, is improving the quality and the quantity of your yields. It doesn't do you much good to drive yield and get 100% more yield or 200% more yield if the quality goes down. And that's what happens when you unfortunately do nothing but increase your inputs and don't do anything else. But if you can make the plants more efficient, it's going to utilize sunlight more efficiently. It'll use water more efficiently. It'll use your fertilizers more efficiently. And the plant itself will have its own biochemical responses against insects and funguses and disease enhanced naturally without having to spray all these chemicals to fight these different stress factors. And of course, the biggest benefit of this, which is what every farmer has been telling us, is their improvements in resilience against stresses, abiotic stresses they call it, or weatherborne stresses. What happens when you're trying to grow strawberries in 45 degrees Celsius or 110 degree heat? The strawberry plants don't do very well. With our system, the strawberry plants continue to grow and they continue to produce. What happens when you get a cold, when you have, let's say, citrus trees or perennial plants like tree fruit, and you get a frost or a cold spell? And what happens to the trees? Well, the trees are using that pent-up energy through the winter to survive. But unfortunately, that can actually dramatically reduce your flower and fruit output for the next year. We were talking to several fruit growers and citrus growers in Turkey, and that's exactly what happened last year. They had a huge frost in January, and that frost actually killed a lot of their trees and broke off a lot of the branches on the trees that lived, and it dramatically reduced their yield. With Kiminasi Crop Booster, we're really energizing the tree and the soil as well, so that there's a lot more resistance and resilience against those types of stress factors. And that's really what we want to do. We want to help farmers grow more efficiently. It's not a matter of let's triple the amount of cropland that we're producing on so we can feed the people of Earth. It's about how do we get the cropland that we already have to be sustainably producing more yield and better quality yield. And that's, of course, exactly what the crop booster does. So the Kiminasi technology has been an amazing technology, and it's just getting better. In fact, we're working on applications for non-irrigating farmers. And of course, as soon as we get that ready and available, we'll be letting you guys know. I'm going to answer a couple questions here in a second, but I do want to mention a very, very important and another exciting event that we have next Wednesday. We're going to be doing a very special episode of our Facebook Live and our YouTube Live channel. It's going to be celebrating a special holiday here in America called Farmers Day. So around the United States, we're honoring our farmers, the people that work hard, that work tremendous hours and work very hard to create the food that we all eat. And here in America, we have a special holiday that honors our farmers. We call it National Farmers Day. And here at Harvest Harmonics, we are honoring all of our farmers, not just here in the United States, but we want to honor farmers all over the world. And so in honor of National Farmers Day, we're offering a very special deal during the month of October. It's not just on October 12th, but we're doing it for the entire month, where we give a special 15% discount on any purchases made of the Kiminasi Crop Booster during the month of October. And if you have whether it's a large farm and you want to set up a large project, and even if we work out some kind of financing or something like that, anything you pay to us in October, you'll get that 15% discount. If you're a medium-sized or smaller-sized farmer and you just want to set this up on your farm, you can take advantage of the 15% discount, and we'll, of course, honor that for you. We want to support farmers. We want to let you guys see with your own eyes these amazing results, because I can go through presentation after presentation after presentation where I just show you case study after case study after case study, where we separated two fields out. We said, this is an untreated control field. This is the treated field with Kiminasi, and look at the difference with Kiminasi. Look at how much of a difference you see in the soil health, the water retention, the health of the plants, the growth rate, the yields, the quality, all of these different factors that the Kiminasi Crop Booster is improving and enhancing on the farm is visually very easy to see. But we want you to see this on your own farm, because we know that there's a lot of people out there, selling products and making big claims, but you will know when you see the results on your farm that this technology is legit and it really is the future of farming. Because literally in the next 2 to 3 years, when everybody starts seeing this and you go to your neighbor's farm and they're using our technology and you're not, and you see the difference between their crops and yours, you're of course you're going to call us and want it. So we're offering you the opportunity right now to see it for yourself. And we're offering you a very special discount in honor of National Farmers Day, so that no matter where in the world you are, if you're in Zimbabwe, or if you're in Morocco, if you're in Malaysia, if you're in Australia, if you're in South America or Central America, or here in the United States, you can take advantage of this opportunity and see this technology for yourself. Because within 1 to 2 weeks, once you see how much greener the plants are and how much healthier they look and how much better they're growing and how much better your fruit and flower set is, you're going to be hooked on it as well. And we know you're going to be setting up your whole farm. So having said all of that, let me get to some questions here. I've got a few questions. I want to make sure we answer them here for you. I know I have a tendency just to talk quite a bit because, when I'm talking to farmers, I do mostly listen. I just want to hear what their problems are, what their situation is, and how I can help them. And of course, I have to spend most of my time listening, which is of course great. When I get on these presentations, sometimes I'm talking a lot. So I see some questions here. Let me answer these questions for you. If you have questions about our technology or about how it works or the specials we have running, please just type them in the comments. We'll be happy to answer them here live for you. And while I do that, I'm going to also put up just our website. So in case you guys want to see more of that information and those case studies, you can go to our website at any point and, of course, take a look at that. So first question I have here is from Farai, and it says, you're watching from Zimbabwe. Welcome from Zimbabwe. I have tomatoes in my field right now. Great. And the question is how to deal with blights in your tomatoes. Well, tomato blight and leaf blight in the tomatoes is primarily caused by usually it's by fungus. Sometimes it can be caused by insect damage when the insects will cause damage, and then a fungus will get in on the leaves after that insect damage. But a lot of times it's just a fungus problem. Of course, you can spray a fungicide in that, but our solution is not to spray additional chemicals. Our solution is to improve the health and vigor of the plant, because plants have their own natural immune systems, just like humans do. You know, when you get exposed to bacteria or viruses or fungal or funguses, fungal spores, and you breathe all that in on a constant basis, your immune system is resisting that and killing off those pathogens so that you don't get sick. In plants, it's the same way. Plants have their own immune systems, and so when a fungus gets in there, if the plant is healthy, it will have a biochemical response. It will actually heal up those wounds caused by insect damage or funguses, and it will localize the fungus so you don't have as much of a problem. However, if the plant is not healthy, then the biochemical responses against funguses and insects are reduced, and that's what causes fungal outbreaks like blight and other things. So I would obviously recommend using our crop booster to make your tomatoes healthy. Short of that, of course, you can look at your fertility program and really look at your soil health, believe it or not. If you haven't done a soil test recently, I would definitely recommend that. That can also show you if you have certain nutrient deficiencies, which are weakening the plants and causing those fungal outbreaks to take over. So that would be my example for that. Next question here is, what are the major benefits in the soil with this technology? Good timing, I guess. Our technology improves soil health by improving microbial activity in the soil. If you have a nice, healthy microbiology in the soil with cyanobacteria, with mycorrhizae, with other types of beneficial nematodes, then those types of microorganisms will do a lot of the conditioning of the soil that you would normally use conditioners for. So when you have a good microbial activity in the soil, they're going to pull that nitrogen and carbon out of the air. And they're going to convert those minerals within the soil to usable forms for the plants. And they're also going to keep those negative or predatory insects and microbiology in check. You know, when there's a good soil balance, you don't have things like an overgrowth of fungus or an overgrowth of nematodes in the soil. And one of the benefits of our technology is that it really increases microbial activity in the soil, the beneficial microbes, so that they can help recondition the soil and make this a sustainable solution that will help you for years to come as well. So very good question. Thank you so much for that. Next question is there a natural way, and if the tomatoes are affected with blights, what can a farmer do to get good yield? I think I answered that question. If you just take care of the soil health and the plant health and those two factors, then the blight is not going to be so much of a problem. If you're in a region or an area where there's a huge insect population as well, again, that can cause damage to the plants, which can then in turn be infected with blight and other things. So I would say really focus on your soil health as much as you can. If you haven't done a soil test recently, definitely do that, because that's going to show you where you might have deficiencies in certain minerals that the plants need. How can I get the Farmer's Day discount? Very good question, Isa. Thank you so much for that. To get the Farmer's Day discount, it's very simple. You can contact us. You can go to our website. Actually, we do have a request for quote form. So we need some basic information about your farm, such as how many acres or hectares you have, what kind of irrigation system you have, if you have a drip system, a flood system, a pivot system, etc. So we need to know the information about that, and that's also in that form. Or you can email your information to us. Email your contact information, what type of crop you're growing, how much of an area you have, whether it's hectares or acres. Let us know what kind of irrigation system you have, how much is the flow rate of your irrigation system, and then how often do you water. You give us that information, and we will prepare a quote. And as long as you make the payment before October 31st, between now and October 31st, we will give you that 15% discount, and you will be able to take advantage of our Farmers Day special. So very good question. Thanks so much for that. I appreciate it. And it's real simple. And the last thing I just want to mention today, guys, before we kind of head into the weekend, is the weather's kind of cooling down. A lot of areas, the farming is wrapping up. In other areas, the farming is just getting started. People often ask me if they should wait till next year. And I usually recommend if you can irrigate a couple of times at the end of your season, even though maybe you've already harvested, as long as you're not baling, but I would actually irrigate once or twice with our Kiminasi system at the end of the year. So even on crops like corn or wheat, where you're actually combining a lot of those crops, the idea is our system, by irrigating with our system, our technology is going to help again wake up that microbial activity in the soil, and those microbes will start to break down a lot of that organic matter that's left over after harvest, and that organic matter can then be converted to next year's fertilizer and really prep the soil for a really good year next year. And then, of course, when you start planting and everything for the following season, that soil is going to be rich with minerals and energy. And when you plant the seeds, they're going to take off fast, and they're going to really help you get a good start on the season. Now, if you're growing perennial crops like trees and those types of things, again, irrigating once or twice with our system, even at the end of your season and preparing them for winter, is going to make those trees a lot more resilient to these different stress factors, especially with cold and those types of things, which would normally adversely affect your production for the following year. So now is the time to get started with Kiminasi. Even if you're thinking, well, I'm going to wait till next year, go ahead and get it today. Take advantage of the discount and use this, install it, use it a couple of times on your field toward the end of the season. Prepare your soil for next year and get that thing really going. And of course, for your perennial crops, give those trees the energy they need to make it through the winter and really get a good fruit set and flower set up for next year. That's about all I have for today. Again, stay tuned here next week for National Farmers Day. It happens at 1:30 West Coast time or 4:30 Eastern time. We're going to be doing it on a different day. Usually we use the restream for Tuesdays. We're going to switch that to Wednesday because of National Farming Day. And we're going to have a special guest, one of our farmers who's had a tremendous amount of success with our technology. His name is Jim Reed, who will be joining us to share his wins and successes with the Kiminasi technology. He's got a lot of very special projects going. In fact, he's running a project in conjunction with our technology to show growers in California how they can save on their water, because water is a huge issue and drought is a huge issue in California for the last 2 or 3 years. And Jim is going to be sharing his wins about water savings and everything else with us for National Farm Day. So stay tuned for that next Wednesday. We really want to get a really big audience. We really want to make sure that everybody has a chance to take advantage of the special. So if you're interested in seeing the future of farming on your own farm and doing it today instead of waiting till 4 or 5 years from now when everybody else already has gotten a good competitive advantage of you, then give us a call or send us an email. Or of course, go to our website and we'll be happy to work with you. That's all we got today, guys. Have a great day.